Hi and welcome. My name is Obed, and today I want to introduce a very interesting topic. Just like you can see on my hand, I'm holding a device. This is a flash disk. So I also have got another device here. So these are computer storage devices. So that is why today we shall be talking about computer storage devices so that you can understand the various storage devices that you normally use and the various storage devices that you will normally find in the market. So let's start with the first one. So number one, we have the hard disk drive, normally abbreviated as HDD. So this one is a storage device that you find inside the system unit of your computer. And on my hand here, I have a hard disk. I have an external hard drive. So it means that we still have got the hard drives normally found inside the system unit of our computer that the computer normally uses to store the operating system and other files. And then on the other hand, you can still find external HDDs in the market. And this one can be used like a flash disk to store data externally. This one is normally connected to the USB port of a computer. So this one here that I have is has a storage capacity of around 1 TB. So then from there, the next storage device that I want to talk about is an SSD. That is a solid state drive. So SSDs have become very common, and they are actually replacing the HDDs. So the good thing about SSD is that it normally uses a flash memory. It's just like a flash disk, but it is a hard drive. And it doesn't have any moving parts. So this makes that hard drive very efficient and very fast, especially when it comes to speed. It is extremely fast compared to a hard disk drive like the one I'm holding on my hand that has some movable or moving parts, which makes it relatively slower. So the SSDs are relatively expensive. Yeah, it's a new technology, but they are the best. So if you want to buy a laptop, you want to buy a desktop, I would prefer you go for a laptop or a desk computer that uses an SSD because you'll enjoy the speed and the performance of that particular machine. Then the next storage device that I want to talk about a USB flash drive. This is what I'm holding on my hand. Some people call it a pen drive. Other people call it a thumb drive. A thumb drive because it's typically the size of your thumb. Yeah, so that's why it's called a thumb drive. And this one, or the flash disk, is normally connected to the USB port of a computer. It allows you to back up files and to store files externally, or to even transfer files from one computer to another. This is a flash disk. So capacities like this one I have is a 32 GB flash disk. So, but you can still get higher capacities. We have 128 GB, we have 1 TB and even 2 TB of storage in these flash disks. So then another thing you need to understand, number one, you can see the connector of this flash disk here. This one, it has got a blue color. So this one symbolizes that this is a USB 3.0 flash disk. It's a newer generation of the USB standard. So initially, most of the flash disks used USB 2.0 standard. So USB 2.0 is slower compared to USB 3.0. So that is why when you're going to buy a flash disk, this is another thing you need to consider. This flash disk is relatively faster compared to the USB 2.0 flash disks. You can get that written on the branding of the flash disk, or sometimes you can identify that with the color. You see this blue color on the flash disk. It typically symbolizes that this one is a 3.0 USB flash disk. And then from there, we also want to talk about memory cards. We call them SD cards, that is secure digital cards. So SD cards, they are portable storage devices that we normally use them on cameras. We normally use them on drones. Yeah, you can also use it with your computer to store data. And then from there, the next storage that I want to talk about is a very new storage, and that is cloud storage. So this one is not a devices per se. So technology is evolving, and nowadays you don't have to store data on a flash disk. Remember, this is physical. It can get lost. It can get damaged, physically damaged. But cloud storage allows you to remotely store your data on the internet. That is why we call it cloud storage, because the internet is normally referred to as the cloud. So anytime you hear about cloud computing and all that, it normally refers to the internet stuff. So cloud computing is storage that allows you to store data on the clouds. Like, for example, we have Google Drive. Yeah, you can use it to store your academic documents there, your CVs, your photos, and other things. So meaning that you don't have to carry a flash disk around. Anywhere you can access the internet and your drive, you can get all your files there. So we have things like iCloud, Dropbox, and others. Those are cloud storage. And then from there, let's talk about some legacy storage devices. That is, they're getting obsolete. Like, for example, we have a compact disc or a CD. Yeah, so we have been using them to store music, programs, and other things. But they are now getting obsolete. Most of the laptops you buy in the shops, you don't find them having a CD drive. That is the place you put the CD to read it. So, and then from there, we have a digital versatile disc or a DVD. They're just like CDs. They're optical storage devices used to store data, but they're now getting obsolete. A DVD is usually slightly bigger than a CD because it normally has got a storage capacity of around 4.7 GB, most of them. But now a CD or a compact disc normally has got a storage capacity of around 700 MBs. And the next legacy device that I want to talk about, now this one is completely obsolete with over a few decades. And this is a 3.5-inch floppy disk, the floppy disk. So the floppy disk was a very old storage device that had a storage capacity of 1.44 MBs. That typically can't even fit a single photo that you take with your smartphone. So that is why we no longer use those devices presently. So it was also a very fragile storage device, a very fragile one. And that is why it got outdated. But one thing you need to notice, the save icon that you normally use, or the icon that you normally use for saving, like all the programs normally use that icon that symbolizes the floppy disk. It symbolizes the floppy disk. So you can see a big similarity between the look of a floppy disk and the saving icon. So that is where we got the image of the saving icon. So that is about the storage devices that you should understand, because these are the common storage devices that you'll find on the market. So I hope this was very interesting and very clear to understand computer storage devices. So the examples and other details, you should be able to see them from the notes attached to this video. That is for your revision purposes, for examinations and other things. So thank you so much. I was your teacher, Obed. See you during the next lesson that will be talking about the operating system and computer application software. So thank you so much. Make sure that you subscribe and you like the videos. Thank you.
Yeah, Obex online niko tayari. Kwa simu yako ama kompyuta, ka nyumbani au kwa cyber. Tunasema elimu sio barrier.